Thank you for that beautiful, beautiful performance, Edward. We will now have our second senior speech of the day. Chen has been attending St. Stephen's since 7th grade. He has dedicated a lot of time towards golf and has learned to balance this work hard, play hard lifestyle during his time here at St. Stephen's. Now we will hear Chen's senior speech.
Thank you, Julia. Every moment we make decisions. Some are trivial, like choosing between Snickers or Oreos. Others are more important, like, should I start writing the senior speech now, or should I wait until tomorrow during APES? I have no doubt many of us have asked ourselves these types of questions. We sit there contemplating if we should or shouldn't do something, usually weighing the pros and cons of each decision. This is an art of making decisions. Although there isn't a absolute right or wrong answer to any question, there is a subsequent outcomes for each decision that we must face. While not every one of these choices is significant, some seemingly small decisions can be life-changing. 2 summers ago, I made a decision that, even though it would be overshadowed by something like the creation of a table tennis club, is still quite significant, akin to a life-affecting decision, or perhaps can be considered a slight inconvenience. I decided to go back to China, basically just disappear for a year. During the pandemic, I chose to leave behind the comforts of home and travel across the globe. Not only was I not going to have those around me who I had known for many years, but it also meant I would probably have to graduate a year later, hence why I'm here and not moving into my dorm at some college. The last 2 years haven't been the smoothest. I had to immerse myself into society I had become estranged from since I was 5. Even though I had family and some friends, I hadn't talked to most in years. Outside of that, I didn't have anyone. Imagine this. You're living in a completely different country with all the time in the world, but having absolutely nothing to do. While I do admit this is a pretty snobby and first world problem, however, with some calling France mid, I think it's acceptable. Despite all of this, over time, I started to overcome these petty problems and found myself enjoying the outcome of my decision. In hindsight, it might have not been the best decision to go back. Despite this, I don't regret it. I admit I've regretted the choice many times along the way, especially while having to endure 2 weeks of quarantine, having nothing to do, and getting addicted to boba. Despite all of this, eventually it all worked out. While the decision has set me on a roller coaster that uprooted my life and can be considered a detour, it has given me new paths and realizations. It, in a way, gave me a chance to pause and look at my life from a different perspective. It helped me connect with my roots and experience new things, all of which I had never personally expected. The decisions that we make every day are what form us individually. Each person with their decision every day chooses their own life and path in life. Throughout high school, our decisions help form friends, interests, and potentially our future. Of the school year just starting, every one of us has plenty of decisions to make, especially a class of 2023. As college admission looms ahead, make those bold decisions that will lead us to new places. Although we will not know the effects of these choices now, over time, everything will work out. Taking inspiration from a line by the great Forrest Gump, making decisions is like choosing from a box of chocolates. We never know what we will get. In the end, chocolate will always taste good. Having listened to thank yous at every chapel for the last 3 years, I would like to take this opportunity to apologize to those that have had to tolerate me instead. First and foremost, I would like to apologize to my parents. For the last 18 years, you have put up with so many of my shenanigans, from testing sunscreen on the car windows as a sunblocker to driving you crazy while baking a cake. Words cannot express how sorry I am for everything I've done. Carrie, well, I don't know where to even start apologizing to you from. Instead of making this speech an hour long, I'll simply leave it at, I'm sorry for everything. To all my teachers, I apologize for all the annoying stuff I've done, especially Mrs. Clow. I would like to apologize 3 years later for combusting popcorn in your microwave. To the golf team, although half of you guys aren't here, sorry for choking the whole last season. Hopefully won't do it again this year. Lastly, I would like to apologize to all those who have pushed me to write this speech earlier. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I finished it in the period before it was due. My bad. Thank you.